We are 3 days into the Cash Game World Championship and the action is starting to pop off. My name is Gary Blackwood, taking you through all the drama and all the biggest pots so far. Owen, how are you, mate?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's great to have you on. Looking to defend your Cash Game World Championship title. It's going to be a long few weeks, but looking forward to it.
Yeah. I'm getting in the zone. Been warming up, but yeah, ready to go.
Fantastic.
Feeling excited, locked in.
Good stuff. Good stuff. How have you found the action so far?
Yeah, it's really good. Like there's basically been able to hop in and just play whenever I wanted to, which is ideal. Yeah, wasn't playing so great the first 2 days, but I think today, got in some nice long sessions where I was like happy with where I played. So yeah, all I can really ask.
Fantastic. You did put in a bit of a long session today. How long did you play for?
I think it was like 6, 7 hours total, which for me is
Nice.
quite a while. I know that's not exactly a marathon for some people, but that's asking a lot of me.
It's pretty sick to get 7 hours of consistent 50, 100, and it's a great thing that we're doing here at Coin Poker.
Yeah, multiple tables as well. So yeah, it's
That's
great.
fantastic. Yeah. Should we check out some hands from the championship so far?
Yeah, let's go.
So we see Linus putting in the 3-bet, Queen Jack of Spades. Dunkaroos is going to make the call. Flop comes down, Ace 6 Deuce Rainbow. We see a C-bet from Linus and a call from Dunkaroos.
Probably betting his entire range here. Keep it simple.
Yeah. Queen of Clubs on the turn.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this hand wants to slow down, but yeah, I mean, it's sort of like doesn't really change much. This board's like very static. Not much is going to change anyway.
What do you think the bottom of Dunkaroos' value betting range is here on the turn?
It's probably like to stack off, you're gonna want like ace 10 or ace jack. You could like bet something thinner for one street, but the thing is like you don't really need to protect your hands. So, if you're like if you have ace 5, you're just very happy to check back and get your street of value in on the river. So yeah, probably looking like a good ace here.
Where do you think the bluffs come from in a spot like this?
Just low pockets are the classic ones. There'll be some 5-4 as well, but like pocket threes, pocket fours. Those are the classic go-to in a spot like this. And he'll have some floats as well. A lot of his floats will hit the queen though.
If he does have a float like King Jack or King 10, is that more inclined to check back on the turn for fear of being jammed on, or is it more likely to take a stab?
You don't really get jammed on here that much. The check raising is like if someone check raises you here, it's going to be like a check min raise. But yeah, I mean, there's like, sometimes you want to be careful with your equity. It's not really a board where you're going to face those check raises too often, so it's not as big a deal. But yeah, I mean, it's something to think about. Like, Linus is a very aggressive player, and he's not gonna not gonna let you get away with doing that too much. If he sees you cheating too much, then he's gonna put you back in line.
Absolutely. So we are going to see the call from Linus. It's going to be a boring hand if he just check folds on the turn.
Yeah, that would be an interesting one to pick.
For sure. So 5 clubs on the river, and Dunkaroos decides to jam. What do you think about Linus's spot here?
Yeah, I mean, Queen Jack's a pretty nice calling hand. You block ace queen, block ace jack, which Dunkaroos will have offsuit, so it's quite nice to block those ones. Maybe there's a bluff with like some king jack or like maybe like a jack 10 suited, getting a bit adventurous with the float, but you mostly just unblocking the bluffs as well. It's like it's a pretty nice calling hand. And I mean, I was gonna say you're up against an aggro opponent, but basically everyone's aggressive in here, so it's gonna be it could be a pretty reasonable call to flick in.
There's going to be very few nits playing the high stakes Cash Game World Championships.
Yeah, that would be interesting. Interesting decision there.
I think they'd stop playing pretty quickly. What do you think about Dunkaroos' decision to?
He's got the kind of the adventurous sort of float. Yeah, I mean he's got like there's so little on this board that finding these more adventurous floats on the flop is like definitely reasonable here. Like there's just basically no draws, so having like 3 to a straight and 3 to a flush is like as close to a draw as you're kind of getting here.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's reasonable to have this in there, and then like the turn you've just got 8 high no draw, so it's pretty pretty reasonable to just think there's only one way I'm gonna win this pot. And then yeah, I mean river again, like this problem hasn't solved itself. You've still got 8 high no draw, um, and yeah, but Linus didn't fancy getting rid of his second pair, so yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Really fun hand to
lose
start
the
us
big
off.
one.
Yeah, really fun hand to start us
Yeah,
off
yeah,
here. Duggar is finding the float with the 8 high and Linus calling down with second pair. I think it's a sign
yeah.
of things
Just
that are
like
gonna come.
no justice there. Finds the adventurous float and loses soul stack for it.
I know, but you got to go for it, as you say. All right, let's move on to the next one. LLinusLLove in the mix again. Let you take it away.
Yeah, rigged coming in with the free bet. Queen nine suited, bit on the light side. We could go for a flat, but mix up with the free bet sometimes.
Linus is going to make the call. We get the ace jack 9. Linus obviously checking.
Yeah, very nice board for in position. You can bet very high frequency here. Yeah, he's probably betting his entire range here for this size. Linus calls.
Very interesting turn. Lots of equity now for a rig deck.
Yeah. I think it's like sometimes you see weaker players get a bit too enamored with having a pair, but it's like, how are you ever going to check down and win? Like if Linus had a 9, he would probably check raise the flop, so you can't even really beat 10-9. I mean, you maybe sometimes are ahead of a 10-9, but then it will just like probably bluff you off on the river. So you're never really going to show this down, and you have all the outs in the world on a board where you've got to be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of looking at it. A lot of lower stakes players, as you say, they'll be bogged down in the fact they've got a pair and they'll automatically put this into their checking range. But as you say,
Yeah,
a lot of the 9x is raising. You don't really win that much. And to coin a phrase that the PLO guys use, it's a good spot to push your equity with a hand like Queen 9 of spades here.
yeah. I mean, I was going to say, if you're too married to your showdown, PLO is a good way to get rid of that tendency. You go to that game and like you showdown value is a myth. It's all like pairs are just draws to two pairs are draws to boats. So
that's a beautiful way of putting it. So we see Linus make the call, and the 3 of clubs rolls off in the river. Really interesting spot now, rig deck with just a pair of 9s.
Yeah,
decides to go for it.
It feels like you block folds, but I don't really think you do, because like 10-9 of spades or Queen 9 of spades would probably just check raise the turn if they didn't check raise the flop for Linus. So then it's like you don't actually really block the misses, so it's kind of reasonable to take this sort of hand. It's always sort of hard to say what the good blockers are going to be here. Like ace queen should be mixed this deep. So yeah, I mean it's kind of a reasonable hand, but you'll have like lots of reasonable stuff to go with it. It's going to be like kind of hard to sort them, but it is like, I think it's important to realize that even though you have a pair and you have 2 spades in your hand, it's actually just a fine hand to bluff off. You don't want to get too don't want to get too too like scared of the blockers here. You're actually doing fine.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, your Queen of Spades doesn't really block any folds. Your opponent doesn't have, like Queen 5 of Spades or something like that. So it's on the face of it. Try to look at this from the perspective of lower stakes players. They might think, well, I have 2 spades, I block the folds. But as you say, if you really think about it, your blockers are not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at lower stakes, they might have like some 9x of spades themselves. But I think, I mean, if Linus has 10-9 of spades, it's not the best board for him. Obviously, like the free better has all the ace king or whatever, but I don't, he's not going to care. He's just gonna check raise the turn. People are like much more fearless in these games.
Absolutely. And we see Linus make the call. Players absolutely fearless in these games.
That's such a horrible hand to see when like this is the kind of spot where like as I was saying, like ace queen is mixed, and like Linus can fold 2 pairs in this spot and then he flicks it in with second pair. It's not even like he's flicked it in with the top pair, it's like it's second pair as well. That's so rough. Yeah, I mean it's like it's just sort of like he has a habit of making these work. I mean it's why he's been at the top for so long. So yeah, nice hand.
really poetic that you say these guys are absolutely fearless, and then we say Linus make a beautiful call like that for
Yeah.
27k
Yeah.
Paul.
I can
All
see
right.
why this one made it to the highlight reel.
Yeah, definitely. It's a
That's
really,
cool,
really
man.
cool hand. We are 3 days into the Cash Game World Championship and the action is starting to pop off. My name is Gary Blackwood, taking you through all the drama and all the biggest pots so far. Let's start with our leader, Joe Adams. My sources tell me he is a younger professional player currently traveling around Asia while he's grinding the championship. He's up 5 buy-ins in EV after just 2,000 hands. He has managed to slightly overtake Davy Jones, who, by the way, ended the first day of the championship in last place. A very strong comeback from Davy, who will be one of the favourites to win this time round. Other notables on the top of the leaderboard include Asian Flushy, I Was Only 17, and the legend himself, LLinusLLove. Linus has racked up more hands than all but one competitor so far in the challenge, playing 4,672 hands in just the first few days. I'm sure we'll see him almost every day battling it out for victory. At the other end of the leaderboard, we're seeing some familiar names. Rigdeck, who pushed the reigning champ all the way last year, off to a tough start so far. He's down $51,000. He's our biggest grinder so far with over 6,000 hands played, way out in front in that regard. Also down there is Dejan K, actually down more than Rigdeck in terms of dollars, but we're of course using all-in EV as our benchmark for this challenge. There's also talk of Michael Adamo and Andrew Wilson, aka Bowie Effect, joining the party. Both world-class tournament players looking to join the fun at some point. It'll be fascinating to see how the tourney grinders will fare in this field of world-class cash game players, so definitely keep your eyes peeled for that. We see Davy Jones in the big blinds. Actually,
I don't see an ante, so
say again.
I don't see an ante, so I'm wondering why he hasn't folded pre. That I guess opening 7-6 off is a decision here.
Right, okay, I understand. Okay, so it's a loose open with the ante.
Yeah,
I
mean, to Davy as well. Like, come on, that's ego. But anyway, yeah.
I wanted to actually bring up the topic of Davy Jones, obviously a legend of the grind over the past few years, and somebody that you said would do very well in the previous Cash Game World Championships, but his volume was a little low for whatever reason. I'm expecting big things from Davy in this Cash Game World Championship. I assume you're the same.
Yeah. I mean, he's already off to a really fast start. I think he was up 6.5 buy-ins just on like day one. I think day two wasn't quite as good for him. Maybe he lost 1 or 2 back, but still he's like way up there.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected. Like, he's very, very sharp. And he has so much. He has so many questions that you need to know the answer to, that it can just be too much for some people to deal with. But I mean, if anyone's going to have the answers, it should be these guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anyone's got the answers, it's going to be these guys. We see Lama bring it in for the raise, 7-6 offsuit. Owen thinks it's a little loose. Davy Jones going to make the call. And we see Lama deciding to check back. Anything you want to talk about there, or should we skip on to the turn?
No, that's fair enough. Could bet it, could check it. Both are fine.
See a pot size lead from Davy. Would you expect to see an overbet here, or do you think pot is sort of fine?
Well, yeah, the thing is, on ace high boards, you often don't have as many of quite the strongest top pairs. So you can size down a bit more to include stuff like the ace 10 and the ace 9. But just because ace queen's like a full frequency free bet pre, and then ace jack, it depends what free bet strategy he's playing. Still, I mean, pot is fine, overbet is fine. Like, there's not going to be like a massive difference in those, just as long as it's something polar.
And C-Lama decides to bring it in for a raise. It makes it 2.5k.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna open 7-6 off, it's because you're gonna show off that post flop edge. So yeah, I guess this is the plan.
All right, we see Davy make the call. 9 of hearts on the river. Obviously, 7 of hearts, nice card for Lama to have. And he decides to pile it in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, seems about right when you have this hand here. Yeah, I mean, like, what will we raising the turn for if we're not to ship this river?
Uh-huh.
Um,
I was
yeah.
gonna ask, what do you think he does on the Deuce of Diamonds River? Do you think he follows through?
Yeah, I mean, he might send it. It's a bit less of a, it's a bit less of a gimme, like obvious shove at that point.
Mhm.
That point, maybe you do, maybe you don't, but like this one feels kind of easy. Yeah.
Yeah. As you say, if you're gonna raise the 7-6 offsuit on the turn on this river, if you're doing anything other than jamming, be very
Yeah, yeah.
surprising. Let's see if Davey makes the call. He does flick it in.
How light's it gonna be? Yeah, yeah. Mid tier. Yeah.
Obviously, that
Sort
pocket
of. I mean,
kings blocker.
definitely is a foldable hand at this point. You're definitely behind what Llama's wrapping.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, I mean, does just because you're behind what he's saying he has doesn't mean you got to believe him. And yeah, he makes a nice call.
We say I love Avril Lavigne bringing in for a raise. Juan Roman, 3-bet stays 5 suited. Avril calls. We get the 9-4-4 rainbow. Let's see what Juan does, and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, this is like it's probably a bit on the big side to be betting your whole range. But you do get to bet a lot on these boards.
Mhm.
Um, it's pretty much blank. So the overpairs are so strong. You have a big advantage in them. So yeah, you kind of you're kind of a bit of a punching bag here in Matt Marinelli's shoes.
I'm looking at this Ace 5 of Hearts, and it feels like a really nice combo to blast off on a variety of runouts. Obviously, double blocking the 4, unblocking the Ace Queen of Diamond type floats, which will fold on future straights.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, Ace Queen sometimes calls down on this board.
I
If you
forgot.
think about calling down the triple, pocket eights doesn't really block much, but Ace Queen blocks quite a few value hands. So, like, I mean, Ace Queen folding on future streets, like, sure, if we're at lower stakes, but stranger things have happened in the 5100 streets.
I keep thinking about these hands from the 5-10 perspective. I need to get my high stakes braining gear. Of course, they're not fully Ace Queen. What am I thinking?
Yeah, yeah. Come on, ace high, 6 outs, the top pair top kicker, or well, not always top kicker. Ah, well, that kind of makes ace queen's life a bit easier.
So we see the small bet from Juan on the turn here.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this. I mean, like the size, like what he's trying to do is rep, pocket tens
Hmm.
or pocket jacks, um, which is, like it's fine to want to, build around those hands.
Hmm.
But this hand just feels quite awkward for it. You'd either, if you're gonna throw in some sort of traps in that range, you'd want them to like be a bit stronger. This is, it's kind of like you're inducing, but then if you get the smoke, like, did you really want it? So,
Yeah.
so it feels like not really the hand. So yeah, not a great pat. And then it's also like if Marinelli has, if he has some random float, part of the nice thing about this size is you just get those random floats to fold. But like Ace 5 has those hands dead, so it's like, it feels like we're not getting the benefit of denying equity, and then we're also just like inducing with inducing when we don't want it. Unless he has some like read that Marinelli is just going to bite really hard on this and just take King Queen of Diamonds and like ship it, which might be what we're about to see.
Well, let's find out. And we do see that large raise coming in from Matt. He makes it 6.3k to go. Juan not folding top pair just yet. Anything you want to chat about, or should we see the river?
No, I don't think you have much of a decision here when you have the Ace 5. You just gotta flick in. At least for now. On the river, you definitely do. Yeah,
So we
yeah.
see
I
the
mean, not
7 of
much
hearts.
changes.
Yeah,
You're
bit of
kind
a
of just
brick.
hoping that Marinelli gives up when you have this hand. That's really what you're praying, and then he shoves, and it's like, oh, that sucks. But as you say, like Ace 5, we do block like we block some of the trips, we block some of the boats. We block the Ace 9 as well. Like this is actually a pretty nice catcher.
Hmm.
Um, like specifically having the hearts. So yeah, I guess I'm talking myself into it. Like the bluffs are going to be like the bluffs you're expecting here is stuff that you're essentially thinking that you induced from maybe a pocket pair or a flush draw.
Mm-hmm.
Like you block and then he looks at pocket sixes and decides to just go fuck you and send it. Um, which is like, which is, it could happen. Seen stranger things, or like maybe he just takes something a bit more normal, like a flush draw, and then just goes, "Oh, I'll just like rip the river."
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think those are kind of the hands you're hoping to see. Um, yeah, I'm curious to see what Marinelli had here. Maybe he just has like ace four, and it's like it's not even interesting. But
Yeah, maybe he
we'll
just
see.
had it. But maybe he has the king, queen of
Yeah,
diamonds. We're about to find out. I'm sure it
yeah.
has
Maybe he
one.
has like if he has ace jack or something, that's fun.
Finds the ace
Oh, he has
king.
ace king. Yeah, ace king is like. Yeah, I mean it's not that thin though, Like Ace Jack is kind of fun because then it's like soul read territory. You're
Mm-hmm.
like putting him on the Ace Five or the tens, but like Ace King,
Mm-hmm.
you beat some of the traps, like you beat the Ace Queen. Um, but yeah, I mean it's kind of interesting that he just flat pre here.
Yeah.
Like I mean I know they're deep, but these are very wide positions. It's bottom versus cutoff, so it comes
Mm-hmm.
in for just flatting the Ace King off out of position, gets maximum rewarded. Fair enough,
Yeah.
fair enough. Yeah,
Finds the
nice
ace turn.
hand.
Gets
It's
max value.
lovely getting induced when you just have it. Come on, overthink it.
Yeah, it's a great problem to have when you've got it. All right, we've got some short-handed action here. We've got Tax here, which is Kevin Paquet. Is that right?
Yep.
Davy Jones, of course, and Jassam Gale. Three legends of online poker.
Yeah, this could be in a time capsule. This could be like this could be like 5, 10 years ago. Well, maybe not 10, but still, yeah. These guys have been battling free-handed for forever.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they'll still be doing it in 5 years' time.
It wouldn't surprise me.
So we see the 4-bet. We see the call from Davy Jones. Okay, King 7-3 with 2 clubs. Davy's going to check. Tax here coming with a very small bet.
Yeah, we've got to continue the ace of clubs. Could raise, could call, both, but like both are fine. Want to
Mm-hmm.
mix in a little bit of both here.
Okay.
But yeah, don't want to be folding this to such a small bet.
We see Davy does come with raise. Really interesting spot now. Obviously, such a low SPR and 2 more streets to play. Curious to see how Davy will continue. Decides to just
Yeah, I
jam.
mean
Any thoughts on that?
this is interesting. I like I had a feeling it was going in, but it's like this is kind of wild. Um, I mean, obviously you do have nicer draws than this.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is like there's 2 flush draws on the board. Uh, any backdoors you raised hit something. At the same time, this has like this feels like it has very nice blockers. Like you're blocking like the king queen off, the ace king off, the like aces. Um, this is like this is pretty interesting. Like this one this one has me like really interested and hesitant because I wouldn't have come up with this, but then I was seeing it and like also you see it with Davy's screen name attached and it's kind of like oh yeah he might be cooking something. I mean obviously it looks so bad when you run into aces and you've got 0%. But like yeah you are if you just think about it as like a river, you're just blocking the calls so hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe fine. Um, I don't know. It's yeah, and also maybe like sometimes you probably get it in the head. Like you get it in the head of like the ace of clubs is kind of blocking that though.
Yeah, I was
Maybe
going
it's
to
better.
ask.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, if we have ace of diamonds, queen of clubs, or we sometimes get it versus ace 8 suited. So it's sort of like a merge
Yeah,
play.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it's quite interesting. Yeah, you could get it in versus like some suited ace X.
Mm-hmm.
I guess yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would prefer it the other way around. Um, there might also be like I also see so many hands where something weird happens with Davey in a big pot, and then they tend to work out that I wonder if he's like, if he's got some like read or something that someone was fucking around pre or something, and then like, like he just has some feeling that you're messing with him and goes after you. I don't know. I mean, I could sit here spitballing all day. I don't even really believe in any of my theories yet. Like, Davey hands are just so interesting because he's such a sicko and he always does stuff where I'm just like, it's like, what the fuck is going on? I wouldn't have done this. God, I'm gonna have to look this one up after, do some study. Maybe this is just like solve a pure, and I just don't know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
it's just it's purely perfect
Maybe
poker,
it's
and we
just
just don't realize.
yeah. I don't know. I have my doubts, but maybe.
We've spoken a lot about the bluffs that our opponents can find here. I want to talk a little bit about Davy's value range here. What do you think is the worst hand that he's going to have for values? Do you think it's as low as King Jack, King 10 suited?
Yeah. Any king's like slam dunk get in here.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you could probably take pocket queens is probably reasonable too. Um, yeah, I mean in four bet pots you're kind of just supposed to like it's so horrible, but you're sort of just supposed to be your own executioner. Like, you just sit there and like go, oh well, like I'm gonna end up calling down anyway, and then you just putting yourself. I don't know. It feels so shit. But like it's a part of the dynamic.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see what Kevin decides to call it off with. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this is
0%.
this is the problem. Like, you're gonna see this a lot.
Yeah.
You're gonna see this a lot, and it's gonna feel so bad when you do. I mean, I'm so like the thing is, yeah, and maybe Davey screened him is getting him too much credit. If I like, if it wasn't him, I'd just be like, what is this dust? Now 'cause it's Davey, I'm like, oh my god, maybe I don't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe I gotta go study.
That's amazing. So if you see like Gazzyb there, you're kind of like, what is this guy doing? But because
Yeah,
it's Davy
no,
Jones, it's like
you would not get the same leash that Davey gets in. He has a very long leash.
That's
He's
fair. I
been
kind of
winning by
understand that.
too much for too long at the high
Yeah.
stakes. So.
Amazing. Maybe he's onto something with these crazy all-ins.
Maybe he's just on
pots.
winner's tilt, man. Maybe he's just won too much money and he's just like, fuck it.
Oh, lovely hand. Right, let's move on to another one. Davy Jones with the pocket aces in the big blind. Looks good. Linus is going to make the call. All right, we get the ace 8-4 rainbow. We see a small bet. You think versus cutoff on ace 8-4 rainbow? Do you think this is a range bet for Davy?
So often when you open the big blind, you do need to have a little bit of a checking range, just because the 3-bet range is a bit more polar. He's going really small though. It wouldn't surprise me if he's like sized down so that he can keep betting range.
Okay.
Yeah, just to make his life a bit easier. And also the thing is, as you start going smaller, you can comfortably bet like kings, queens, and jacks, and then it feels a lot better. Whereas 25% with jacks here is already maybe the pot's getting too big.
Cool. We see Davy bet. Linus is going to make the call. Just quads.
Too many riches. Too many riches. Yeah, I mean, well now you can definitely put in more bets with those underpairs. You can just keep barreling them off, like keep the sizes small. But yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
I wanted to ask if we see the opposite turn, something like the deuce of hearts, do we see a really high checking frequency from Davy with top set here, or do you think he's more likely to bet it?
Yeah, I mean, you'd expect to see like top set is a very classic trapping hand. Especially in 3-bet pots, you have a set, you've got a license to get a bit creative. You're just like blocking the cooldown so hard. I mean, he could check here as well. But yeah, I mean, it's fine to keep going. The thing is, when you're using these small sizes, which is more of a thing on like when the top card pairs, you're not blocking the cooldowns as hard. I mean, obviously you're blocking all the trips, but you're keeping the cooldown range a lot wider. So like if you block twice, there's still plenty of underpairs to get paid by.
Nice. So we see Linus make the call. 6 of spades on the river. Davy blocks again.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like if you go big, you're like really asking for a miracle to get paid when you have 2 aces in your hand. But yeah, and then also like checking can have a similar problem when you have 2 aces. Like it can feel like you're blocking the cooldown range, but you're also blocking the hands which Linus would bet himself. So it's quite a natural hand to go into a small bet. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking at this from the perspective of lower stakes players who might think, well, I have quads I want to check here, but it's quite, I'm not going to say difficult because it's LLinusLLove, but for the average player, it would be very difficult for them to find a bluff here. So checking doesn't really induce. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah, I mean, Linus will find some fun stuff, but yeah,
for sure,
against the average player, you're definitely going to struggle.
Was definitely not comparing Linus to the average player, as I think we're about to see. Does come with the all-in. Davy Jones, of course, makes the call.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have a boat, because if he has a boat, he wouldn't make the highlight reel. So I'm interested to see what he popped off. Yeah, I mean, that's quite yeah. I mean, pocket fives is such a solver proof bluff here. It would be better if it was like the five of hearts, five of spades. Then it would be perfect because he'd be blocking the two ace five suited combos.
Yeah,
which will call off. But like, you know, we can like, you can't have the number one best bluffing combo in the entire deck every time. So you gotta take something a little bit more adventurous, like pocket fives only blocking one ace five combo.
Yeah, one blocker is better than none.
Yeah, I mean, it's very sharp that he has like the fives here and not like, you know, not pocket sevens, say, because it can be, you can kind of get into the mindset of like, oh, it's straight blockers, but like there's no straights here. It's about finding a pocket pair which is going to block Tabu's trips combos, and that's gonna, like, the ace five is going to be the most prominent one typically.
Beautiful, love it. All right, coming on to four-handed hand now. Davy Jones in there again. He's going to raise it on up, and Kevin in the big blind makes the call. Guess a mix here, 3-bet sometimes, call sometimes.
Yep, yeah, can go either way.
Okay. See a flop. Kevin checks it on over to Davy, who's going to bet out for 40% pots. Happy with that, or you want to chat about it?
Yeah, that's pretty standard on this board. That's standard defend as well.
Cool. Really nice turn for tax here, and we see the pot size bet coming in from Davy.
Yeah, I mean, probably not much of a decision here. I mean, you could maybe try and cook up some raising, but it's not really like, yeah, basically just gonna call here.
Deuce of hearts on the river, not too much changes. Davy's ace 3 gets there, and if he's bluffing with deuces, and we see a 1.5x pot.
I was wondering if he like shoved here, because I mean, without it being on the highlight reel, this is like a very, very standard call down. Like, sorry, so with it being on the highlight reel, it's kind of surprising this is such a standard call down.
Yeah.
I thought he was gonna like shove and like soul read him for queen 10 or something. That would have been kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, it's calling definitely the standard play with this.
For sure. Let's see what Davy shows up with. He has ace king, deciding to barrel it off. I guess blocking king queen, ace queen, even some of the stronger jack X.
Yeah, I think on river, ace king probably, like, it has a bit of showdown, but I think the blockers are probably so good that it's still fine as a bluff. I think you can show down occasionally against like ace 10 or king 10. But block like king queen off and ace queen off, as you say, are gonna just be pure calls here. So having blockers to both of them seems like it's pretty legit. Yeah, I think a nice hand. I think a lot of people might try and show that one down and not realize that it's a very reasonable bluffing hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice hand to both players there. Some really interesting hands there. And it's really nice to get your insight in terms of, the bottom of value ranges and bluffing ranges and things like that. So thanks very much for coming on and sharing that with us.
No worries.
Let's talk a little bit about your plans. Can I ask, how often you're going to grind over the next few weeks? Is it a 7-day thing per week or a couple of days off here and there?
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be, I'm not going to play every single day. I think the thing is, for me, I value hours where I'm playing a game much more higher than total hours. So it's very important to me to just like play when I'm feeling sharp, when, like, these are really tough games. If you're not playing at your best, you can easily slip and give away a bunch. I definitely felt on the first day that I wasn't at my best. And yeah, I mean, I didn't lose a ton, but I definitely made a few mistakes, and I think it's important not to be doing that when the lineups are this tough. At least for me personally, some people have a different approach where they just try to grind it out and just get through the variants, and maybe they're just better at that. They've got a better skill set, but like that's not really me. So yeah, I don't. I just show up and play when I'm feeling it, and then hopefully it all goes well.
Show up and play well when you're feeling it. That's great. In terms of how you want to perform, are you happy to show up and do well and make some money, or are you gunning for title defense here?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't wanna get too fixated on that early on. Obviously it's something which I've thought about. It'd be really cool to win for a second year running. But yeah, it's also like it sounds a bit cliched, but it's kind of important to take things one hand at a time as well.
Mhm.
And also I don't want to be like forcing myself to play more hours just because I'm like, oh look, Davey's doing well and he's playing a bunch now. I have to sit down and play with him. No, I think it's like more important to me to just sort of like detach from that. And then,
Mhm.
if 3 weeks from now I'm in the running, then obviously it has a bit more of a bearing on things. But I think right now I just wanna just want to play good poker, really.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I think that'll do it for our first episode. A big shout out to Owen for coming on and breaking down some hands, especially after
Thanks.
grinding all day. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thanks very much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.